Hello, welcome to the fourth dimension. Maria here. I'm gonna push this down a little bit. Hope you're having a great kickoff to your weekend. I am. It's Friday, very excited about it. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm not using any oracle cards. This is a collective view reading. I'm just gonna pull directly from Rider-Waite, see what happens. Overall energy for the week, or the weekend. It's justice. Many of you are going to get answers to this weekend from previous relationships, possibilities, with, I believe, the finale of the retrograde energy. I have a justice card, Seven of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Lovers, and the Three of Pentacles. Somebody's having a conversation immediately over the challenges in this relationship, as well as where we're going to go from here. That's the overall energy. What else is coming up, Spirit? Collective reading. I have a Five of Wands, lots of arguing. You're going to be focusing on your work. You're going to have a conversation, an honest one coming in. This makes your heart very, very happy, and you see a Ten of Cups in the future. This person is a repeat, recycled relationship with the King of Pentacles. Ooh, I'm going to need some clarifying cards on that. Ooh. So overall energy for the weekend is the Knight of Wands. Play us Saturday night. You're gonna have some fun this weekend. So that's about a decision. So you see this person as kind of a player in and out of your life, hot and cold, back and forth. You know what? You know the type. You know the type. And this person has historically come in and broken your heart, and they want to come in again and have a conversation. What about love? And what do you have to worry about? This guy, the devil, codependency, possibly addiction, partying, that sort of thing. In and out. The same old as you know. Tower right behind it, followed by an Ace of Wands, a brand new beginning and an investment they want to have with you, and they're going to grow up and become the King of Wands. This information is going to come forward very fast, or I could be dealing with Cancer, because this is a Cancer card, and it's going to be a lot of communication back and forth, etc. And it's a match. The King of Wands will match the Queen of Wands along a long-term relationship. And the reason why I say it's a retread is I have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, meaning it's going to come back. You're going to have to use your best judgment. You're going to have to pray about it. To repair this Three of Swords. So that being said, let's get into the overall energy. The Justice over the Five of Wands into the Death is kind of what I just said. Somebody is going to want to come in, not want to argue, previously have to create a rebirth. That's this card. Rebirth over this relationship. This is justice for you. You felt like how this ended. You didn't get closure the last time. They might have even ghosted you. There was no real conversation as to why. Somebody might have used some kind of half-ass answers, such as, oh, I'm busy with work, or the distance is too far, or I have all these all these issues that I get to deal with. Life is just so busy, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And the reality is it was just closing of a chapter because they weren't ready for commitment. That's a vibe. And this is justice, because I feel like you, whoever the watcher is on this reading, had experienced the more giving than the receiving. And there wasn't justice, and it was an imbalanced relationship for sure. And this is the universe balancing out this relationship. Finally, it might even be 10 months. I want to say October, maybe even winter. This ghosting occurred. This was a lot of challenges. You are protected. You are sitting in a spirit of defensiveness in that little glass bubble. And these are all the problems that you're having to deal with. One of them is not this person coming back because you close this chapter. Your focus has been on work, investing in yourself. And you are seen as a King of Pentacles. Again, doesn't matter what energy, what gender you fall under, it doesn't matter. The King of Pentacles is solid, stable. You manage your own thing. You carry your own luggage, your own weight. You pay your own bills. And quite honestly, that's how they see you, is very stable. The best of all the options. Best of all the options. So good for you. And this is your recent past. Up to date. If I were to drop a pin on your timeline, it would hit today. And that pin is you are sitting in a spirit of discernment with that sword drawn. Look at that. Not quite defensive, but you are ready. It is sharp. It is razor sharp. Will definitely slice an earlobe right off that person if they choose to lie. So guess what? They're going to be honest. This is the beginning. And they understand they can't have a foundation at all because it was based on the fuckery of the last, I'm going to have to tell YouTube I cuss too much, but there's no other word. In and out, lies, deceit, options, multiple partners. It's like a list they went down and they just checked them off as they went. Very, very busy. Lots of energy in the past. This person has been sitting in retrospect saying, I am calling in my Sherpa tribe. I'm asking for my love of my life. And they're like, no, you don't want that. Look at your action. Your actions have all these doors open. You haven't made a sincere effort to make a relationship work. Where you brought your best effort. In fact, you say one thing and do another. So they have not blessed this person since the beginning of however long you were playing with them. You, I think, have moved forward. You have done some introspective work. You have done some shadow work. You have listened to your intuition. You have actually learned from many of your mistakes, and good for you. This is the vibe I get. You're ready and have been to invest, and you see where your codependency, that's the best way, that's the only word I can come up with, has sabotaged previous relationships. And when they start to give you pullback, so there's a little bit, you kind of are pulling from the same frequency that you're accustomed to, and you realize maybe that doesn't work. So you're gonna try something new. Okay, so current energy, what do we find out this weekend? Somebody's gonna come back from your past and definitely, and I think this is a real genuine relationship that you wanted and it never got off the ground or never really got past the in and out relationship. It never really launched into something. Even if you live with somebody, I just don't feel that there was a connection there worth investing in. You might have done all the due diligence, it's gone shopping together, did dishes together, ate out together, watched and cuddled together, but there wasn't a connection at the level. There are several people I'm reading for, there was a significant connection, but there was a third party. So there was a break in the relationship. Also, I get the significant, another message that somebody is sitting or has wanted to move forward with this person and it was sabotaged by a human. I don't think a relationship is more like family, some family, mother figure, auntie, sister, cousin, somebody in authority that your person really relied on, or maybe you know that their person relied on. Some third entity had significant influence and changed the mind of your person or you to not invest, totally sabotaging this. Again, I just read energy. I can just see it. I can feel it. I can't tell you who did what to whom. It's not on the granular level, it's more of a frequency. So there was an interruption to this relationship with a handful of you. The rest of you, they sabotaged their own future. They broke their own heart, per se. This, I believe you, whoever I'm reading for, you watching, the watcher, are going to jump in. I have a fool here. You're going to trust this person at face value because you had a very lengthy discussion this weekend with this person or over the phone or at dinner, at their house, eating dinner, I don't know, hot dogs and pineapple shit, I don't know. But you're having a very significant conversation where you make a decision to jump. You have been in between, the wheel is over. You've rode that wheel for a while. You've been single for a while. And you've done this evaluation and this introspective work for a while. You set your intentions. I want to say before the full moon or right around this last full moon that we just had, a very powerful moon in Scorpio, and you set your intentions about what you want and you are eliminating any other opportunity that has come forward to explore with you. You just haven't entertained it. In fact, I think you might have even gotten hit up by a few people and you're like, no, thank you, pass on that. No, I don't need those extra calories. It's like, no, thank you, no, thank you. So you're kind of engaged in something new. You're chasing your intuition, you're chasing your heart, and you trust that your Sherpa tribe that you talk to on a daily basis, that you said, I want this next amazing thing, will bring it forward. Guess what? It is. Very next line is the Lovers. This is a major arcana. Hand chosen partner coming in for you, making you extremely happy, which is the World, meaning you have ended this previous chapter before. The effery, the options, the list, the people, the nonsense, all that games, and you are entering a new chapter on new footing. Good for you. If that is enough, I have a long-standing relationship. Right here. This is a pentacle. I almost said an oracle. Could be an oracle. The Three of Pentacles, meaning it is a commitment long-standing. It's like an obligation, like if you got a new job to work on a team with a group of individuals from work for a project, that's this feeling. So it might be somebody you're working with. It might be somebody you knew from a previous employer. You knew in the network you work with. But if not, then that doesn't resonate. Like, no, Mari, I don't know what you're talking about. Then this is somebody you wanted a long-term relationship with, and this is what Spirit's telling me. Hey, it's that person that you've been longing for. They're coming in. This is the 10 of Cups. This is the happiest card in the deck. You don't get to 10 alone. Somebody has to give you their ace in order to get to 10. That's your future. They're going to give you their 10. This is also wish fulfillment and healing. This person is going to help you heal whatever this past relationship was that didn't meet the fulfillment, even if it's the same partner, because you both have elevated. God bless. I feel like I need to say, and I know I talk fast, but there's so many messages. This would be an hour reading, and I really don't want it to be an hour reading. But I do believe that this person, they're going to share with you the lessons they learned, and you are going to as well. That's what I feel like the conversation has been about. If you're both honest and courageous enough to have that conversation, real healing will begin. If you start off on the same footing as it did as it ended, it won't go off the ground. It won't be blessed. And you can't create that foundation because it's the same thing that made the tower come down previously, months and months and months ago. This would never sustain a windstorm, let alone a tornado, and some of the challenges that you have ahead of you. And Spirit knows that. So that's why they're even putting it on your heart to entertain a conversation, is you both have to bring your honest and best, humble, just truth, just your honest truth, regardless of the feelings of fear, regardless of the feelings of blame, game, shame thing. Stay away from that. It doesn't matter who did what. And I always say, I need to say this out loud, and I don't know who this is going to resonate with or why I'm even saying it. Sometimes, when I look at God and I say, or the Sherpa tribe or your universe or whatever you believe in, it doesn't matter. And we want to point the finger, especially if we come from a religious background and we have all these ideas of, well, they screwed it up and they stepped out of the relationship and this and that and the other. They. And we super are reluctant to see it, the three fingers pointing back. Usually, more than likely, if we've done the work and we have done a deep dive to determine what did I do to, I typically probably, nobody comes to war at me. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I wonder how I can piss Mari off. Very few people, actually. A few, maybe. Not many. Most of them are just like getting up and living their life, their best life. They put their best foot forward and they want to do the best they can in their day. They don't intentionally say, I'm going to go mess this person's life up, intentionally. Unless they're just evil, corroding, sad little insecure folks. But the majority of the people watching this aren't, because they won't even resonate with this. They'd be like, what is she talking about? That being said, this person is no different. So if there is a list and a litany of errors and sins, insecurities where they acted on them, inferiority complexes, jealousy, spite, temptation, all of that, and we're holding that above them, then we're going to relive that same chapter. If we can see that as something we can move forward, not forgiving for sure, absolutely, like we all do it. I say things I don't mean when I'm very angry at my children. I do. I'm not cutting, but bitey, I wish I could, gosh, I wish I could have said that. Well, I feel like several of you that watch this maybe have had some of those concepts where you said something that was so bad. And I get some messages like, Mari, you don't understand, I attacked their character. This came up in a couple of other readings. I'm like, get over it. If they love you, they'll get over it. And don't do it again. How about that? Let's just not do that. Let's not play dirty just because you want to win, because you're going to lose a war just because you won the argument. Also, if somebody's dealing with some infidelity and somebody has had a corrective change, they will see that the infidelity actually, you're going to hate me saying this, maybe they tripped over that so they can understand the depth of love they have, and they have learned from that lesson. Again, not for all of y'all. I don't need a million comments. I love you all. But the people are like, wait, if they cheated, I'm never going to go back. Fair. Nobody asked you to. That contract's been ripped up. You don't have to ever go back and finish that lesson. Move on to the next relationship if that's what you're wishing. However, I'm going to challenge you. Look at that relationship a little bit more deeper and determine if maybe, especially if there was infidelity, if there was something differently that could have been done to avoid that or resolve that. Most of the time, I talk to two very broken people, not one, two, when the one stepped out, right? And then when we can get down to causes and conditions, the infidelity was just the breaking point. It's like the crack in the glass that goes all the way to the stem. It starts off as a chip, or in your windshield, right? It starts off as a little chip and it spreads, right? Because it's got pressure on it and heat and an outside element. We all have temptation. Somebody just happened to right timing and they acted on it. So I want you to understand when we start delving in a little bit deeper as to what made us do the things we did, and that's a me issue. What do I need to correct in me? Then we get down to the causes and conditions. A lot of the readers, believe it or not, a lot of the people watching this had infidelity as the breakup reason. Third party, extramarital, they were committed to me, we were living together, they stepped out, they lied, did this, that, the other. Fair. If it's not resolved and the person hasn't done any work and you haven't done any work, you're absolutely correct. Move on. However, if there has been some reconciliation, internally reconciled with myself, the freaking issues that I have, if I reconcile with me about what in me is making me look outside of me to make me happy, maybe that's a huge starting point. Somebody's in their head full of anxiety. They're sitting in like meditative state, probably doing that review. Here comes that Ace of Wands, that passionate new beginning. It's an ace, it is a beginning, not a conversation. I'm sure it goes with the conversation, but that's what Spirit's saying is on its way. What else, Spirit? What can you tell me about the collective this weekend? The Magician. Oh, excuse me. Is it the Magician? Yes, the Magician is paired with, let's see what we got here. The King of Pentacles and the Hangman. Same exact energy as I just pulled. This King of Pentacles is a solid, stable person who historically, maybe, and I get the sense the King of Pentacles sometimes likes to rescue the peeps out there from growing up. So I have a few friends that do that, and they have a lot of people clinging on to them to build them up. So let's say I have a friend and he is financially stable, and this friend has a lot of friends that rely on him for help, for assistance, for listening to their nonsense and their problems in their relationships, and maybe even financial assistance. This person is finding the value of helping these folks on such a deep level that he's barely making it. He's like, I can barely breathe when I'm getting this out of my nose. Like his like nose is right above the water, meaning he is struggling himself, but he has no one to run to and talk to because he has so many people holding him down under the water, right? And he's just trying to stay above it. And it's financially draining. It's exhausting to listen to these people that aren't changing, aren't willing to change. That's an example. Now, the king doesn't have to be a male. It could be any kind of energy. But that's the vibe I'm getting about this King of Pentacles, is he's carrying the pressures of the world, right? The pressures of the world on his shoulders. He's trying to protect himself, trying to find balance in the situation, trying to focus on his own life, his own problems, his own work, and he's struggling to find stability. And they're saying you need to be the alchemist. If that's you watching me, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about, because you're like, damn girl, you're like reading my diary. Yes, that would be you. Spirit is saying, take a pause, sit in a hangman state for a minute, use your Magician, meaning you already have all the resources you need. You don't need to fix anybody. Maybe the word no is what you need to learn, King of Pentacles, so you can get back into the upright position and run your life rather than it run you, because it will run you into the ground. This passionate new beginning is something you want, but it's creating anxiety because you can't balance it. It's imbalanced. Right? And there's no justice to it from the previous relationships you've had, whether they be family, friends, financial, exes, anybody you're trying to, quote, help, maybe trying to pull you under. I don't think that this is a coincidence that I got both clarifying cards out at the same time, saying essentially the same thing for the King of Wands. Got two cards, King of Wands. So this is a message for that kind of person who's carrying everything on their shoulders and can't get a break, can't find a break, can't take a break because they're carrying everybody's luggage. Tell me more. I got an Ace of Pentacles, brand new beginning. It's that ex-lover I was talking about. Three of Pentacles, same exact card. Now Spirit's just saying, I'm just showing off now, Maria. I'm telling you the same thing again and again and again. But you're going to have a brand new beginning unless you put some boundaries around this lovely group of people that are the anchor around your neck. You will not be able to celebrate. Hold on. I'll get there. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. So I took my nails off for summer because my fingers are in the dirt and I can't pick up a damn thing. Okay. I like to garden. So This Three of Pentacles is a celebration to your wish fulfillment and your Ten of Cups. However, unless you capitate, here we go, and put some boundaries around certain relationships, this won't be fulfilled. Because you have to pick one. You have to have balance. You can't invest in a relationship that's requiring more of you if you're giving all of you to everybody else and getting nothing in return. So I feel, for whoever I'm reading for, you, my friends, have been calling upon your Sherpa tribe, asking for assistance, and they're showing up in a large way. Holy buckets. You aren't going to believe what I just pulled. And but you got to be able to receive it. And this is kind of like a test going, well, you can have everything you want if you're willing to let go and say no and put some boundaries around some folks that are taking from you, and it is costing you your soul and your peace and your happiness. Last 3 clarifying cards is I have the Sun, the World, and the Two of Cups. So in order for you to get the Sun, you need to put an ending to other relationships so you can have a relationship with your heart's desire. You have to close out relationships, which is the huge, big aha moment for you to discern what part of these conflicts, these are all problems, right, that you need to release and quit protecting yourself from. This is ego-driven. This is old stuff. Like, if I'm just going to speak, doesn't matter what gender, so save the hate mail. But there is a sense of, well, as a man, I need to be this kind of person and carry the weight of, like I need to carry everybody's stuff and provide them. I could be end all, be all, answer all to everybody and spread myself so thin, I don't have any space for new beginnings because there's no room for nothing new to come in because I've limited myself. And Spirit's like, well, you've been praying for this, you've been manifesting this. Here it is at your door, knocking on your door. Your wish fulfillment, it's in the cards. Your wish fulfillment, the desire of your heart, is wanting this relationship with you and willing to go, willing to start a new chapter. And you're like, oh, hold please, let me see what's on my itinerary, see if I can fit you in. So that being said, lots of communication. King of Swords is having an honest conversation about this previous breakup and all the challenges that came from it, creating a tower. And it's the same message I just pulled, same exact cards. Crazy, lots of communication about this breakup. Stresses, same cards as below. And that is the tower, meaning change. That's all the tower is. Something's got to change. It might be a tower for the people they say no to from now on. Like, hey, I can't pay your rent anymore. Got to pay my own. And that's the Fool, brand new chapter. Ironic, same card, brand new chapter. So this is your message for the week. Dropping all illusions, like dropping all the problems. And wands are exterior challenges. They're not, these aren't swords. This isn't mental. This isn't you. You're putting a huge ass boundary. And guess what happens? You're using your judgment and you're determining that this isn't what's best for you. And you get the Sun and you're going to start able to invest in something like, yeah, I got nothing but 10 swords, 10 wands. There it is. Happy union. So that is what's happening for you this weekend. I am so excited. I'm sorry I didn't pull the oracle cards, but I felt like this was a much thorough reading for you. I hope this resonated. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Details of how to get a reading is on in the detail page on my platform on YouTube. Love and light until the weekend, zodiac signs. Take care.